How do you do? Just a word of friendly warning. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now is your chance to, well, we've warned you.
I hope you like Freddy, because this is a Freddy heavy episode.
Heavy Freddy.
So if you don't like
the heavier the Freddy, the better.
If you don't like heavy fretting, now's the time.
Heavy Freddy is my favorite 80s animated movie.
Yeah.
Had a heavy Freddy last night.
Did you?
Whoa.
So I'm Freddy. And if you don't like me, tune out now, because I have the Roulette movie, and I picked our main attraction, in addition to our patron Mandi, who picked one of the selections. Amy's here.
I am.
Andy is here.
Hi. I've never seen the 60s Batman show.
Me either.
They've never seen Batman and Robin.
Our fastidious friends have never experienced the Riddler as he's meant to be experienced.
Here's the thing.
All right, real quick, introduce Kelley, and then you can get upset.
Holy dirty underwear, Batman.
Don't worry, Robin.
That's Kelley.
That's me. I'm not mad. I'm surprised.
No, here's the thing. We were discussing
He's disappointed.
right before the show. Me and Amy said we'd never seen the 60s shows, and they were like, "Oh, what?"
Yeah.
I feel that is a shocking thing to be shocked about.
No.
Here's the thing. We all grew up with different things coming into our eyeballs and earballs.
We had a lot of the same things coming into our eyeballs
for
and
sure.
earballs.
For sure. But sometimes, like, I saw every episode of The Monkees. Like,
the Monkees. It's
Yeah.
it's the exact same
All
show,
of
but
it.
just without Batman.
yeah.
They're
But
very similar.
I just didn't see the Batman.
You just switched out the monkeys for Batman and the villains for girls who needed help with their homework.
I saw a lot of
And
Rainbow Bright.
Egghead
like,
was on both, though.
yeah.
So,
No, I'm just saying, like, you've seen Scooby-Doo, right?
Yeah.
So there you go. I mean, we've
So we've seen Batman.
We do have common cultural touchstones.
So when we get, if you're a patron, patreon.com/NOTLP, we've been dumping massive Halloween dumps.
We've been dumping.
We were at Halloween 40 in Pasadena, California. Where
I
we
wasn't.
filmed the original Halloween. Kelley
Thank
was
you,
not with
patrons.
us. Thank you, patrons, for that. We piggybacked off of that on our own and spent a couple days at Disneyland, which was
We
awesome.
went to the Halloween party.
And we will have a trip report.
a lot of sexy princess costumes, just like Cinderella in panties.
Yeah, you
At
see
the
that
Disney.
You see
Well,
that all
she
the
was
time.
probably
though.
wearing panties, but like underneath.
Only
her-
panties.
Yeah, only panties. How'd you know it was Cinderella?
Well, she had that hair
They
and
were
the shoe.
blue.
She had
Okay.
one shoe on.
She had one shoe on.
Yeah.
Is that sexy to
Oh,
you?
we saw that on
That's all
Hollywood
she had
Boulevard.
on was a glass slipper.
Just one shoe, huh?
That is something we definitely saw on Hollywood Boulevard. If you go far enough down the Walk of Fame past Bill Cosby, it gets scary.
It does.
And stinky, too.
It smelled like piss.
Scary and smelly.
So, but we'll do the trip report as part of our Patreon content. We'll have a review of the new Halloween movie. Excuse me. Gross. We have all the panels that we made it to. We didn't go to one, right? No, we made it. I don't remember.
We missed a few.
I think we missed one or two panels. We have the panels. All that's coming. We have a new Flaunt Your Haunt coming from Mike and Matt. I believe they're both on the recording, which I'm excited to hear. I think it's Mansfield Prison, I want to say. Haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. But a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, and go to Instagram and like all our pictures.
We're getting spooky.
And thank you to Jacob Trevino for covering Halloween Horror Nights,
In
at
Orlando.
Universal Orlando.
Yeah, he did a lot. A little too much, in my opinion.
No, if you wanted to see that shit, you got to see that
No,
shit.
I just hope it didn't detract from his fun.
Andy thought he loved too hard.
I think Jacob
Andy
had a
doesn't
good
like
time.
when that happens.
Andy was worried that he was
Blowing
working too hard
Yeah.
or something. I don't know. Andy worries.
I
He's like, oh, I hope he had time to have a funnel cake.
He thought NOTLP took away from Halloween Horror Nights. He's like, or people are going to be too focused
Yeah.
on NOTLP being there.
So that's all in the stories, right, Andy? All the Instagram
But
stories.
you can't see that anymore because it's gone.
Well, once you watch it, right?
Yeah, they were 24 hours are gone.
Oh, if you didn't watch it, it's
So
gone.
hope you saw it.
But we can. We
Go
can
back into the
access it.
past.
Yeah, we can access it.
So good for us.
We can put it on the highlights.
We could describe
yeah.
it to people. That could be bonus content.
So there's lots of like, it's very red and foggy.
Mhm.
Okay, and there's a girl wearing Ugg boots, and she's scared.
Yeah.
Is that good enough?
Yeah. Ooh.
Ah,
I wanted to go to the
I feel like I was
Poltergeist
there.
haunt.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're easily scared, Kelly. Ooh.
Oh!
Yeah.
You scared me when you made that ooh sound.
Ooh.
Oh!
Oh.
How do
Oh,
you,
that gave me a boner. That's different.
how do you get through life? Did that scare you too?
Very scared.
Ah.
I'm real scared.
Scared?
I'm scared.
So what was your week like, Kelly, while we were out in the warm California sun?
I have to stay on the couch.
Yeah.
That sounds nice.
Yeah.
It
For
does
my
sound-
foot.
There were moments where I would have been like, let's trade lives.
So I'm almost done now with Stephen King's The Outsider so that we can have more bonus content.
You've been
soon.
almost done for
But I'm
470
almost
days.
done.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so I
I'm
watched.
gonna forget what happened.
I started watching that show. We at least I started watching that show Haunted on Netflix.
Oh yeah, we have too.
It's horrible.
I think it's fun.
The recreations are great. It's almost our beef is if these people are just abused people telling these horrible stories.
Have you noticed that too? Every one of them is abused.
Yeah, it's also there's no way that it's not like that second episode. There would be police involvement if that was real.
Oh, you'll have to refresh my memory about that one.
That's the serial killer dad and the two little girls.
Oh yikes!
Oh yeah, Amy hasn't seen that one.
Oh yeah. Well, don't worry because it's not real.
Yeah.
I watched the one where the young lady was telling the story of how her mom had lupus and they had to move back in with their grandma and they had to live in the grandma's basement, which is where her uncle had been living up until recently, and he was a drug addict but also really into the occult.
Yeah,
he's trying to summon
and probably
a
molesting her.
poltergeist. Well, they never got into that.
They
But
didn't get into
probably.
that. But my favorite part was all her like friends and family and their facial expressions.
Yeah.
Where the camera would cut to them and this is the sound of their face. Huh?
In case you're wondering, what Haunted is somebody was watching Intervention and watching
Paranormal Witness.
and Paranormal Witness.
Yeah,
And they
exactly.
combined them. They were like, why don't we take these people and have them admit this shit in front of their friends and family?
I think it's fun.
And so, but it's like if you take it on either level, it's like
Wait, hold the phone. So the premise is that there's a room full of their friends or family,
yeah.
Mhm.
and
They're telling the story, but it's also they're doing a reenactment.
is it real time? Like, oh, they're reacting like while they're telling the story.
Yeah.
Sort of, I guess. Yeah, but I mean,
They're reacting badly.
yeah.
Yeah.
That is so fun.
Well, you think.
I think it's
But they're all just as crazy as the person telling the story usually.
Yeah, and it's also like if you take the stories at face value, you're like, oh, it sounds like you were just molested and you made this up to like kind of get you through that.
well, the
Yeah.
one guy who his mom was real abusive.
Beat him with the Bible.
Like there's something going on there for sure.
Yeah.
Obviously, but then I think sometimes the energy created. All right, sit down. Let me be the wacko.
No, listen, I'm all, as you know, I'm a believer. I'm not saying there can't be things. I just think
Right.
for this show
It's goofy.
that it's not.
So
But-
are the
And the second episode is definitely fake.
I think there's energy created by trauma.
Agreed.
That can open doors maybe and open minds and open portals to other universes. Hey Freddie, do you still love me?
Yeah, I do.
I just think though, that if that is what's happening on the show, then the show is horribly manipulative
Oh well, I think that's always the truth,
and
right?
horrible. Yeah. But
Yeah.
the recreations
But
are
hey,
great.
Hey, I watch shit tons of true crime reenactment shows. That
Yeah.
is my jam. But in the end of the day, I am entertained by the worst thing that ever happened to somebody.
No, agreed.
Yeah.
I would just say the recreations are great.
Now, do you
Yeah.
have Shudder?
I do.
Have you watched True Horror? It's a same concept as that show, only
for the
it
talking.
It doesn't have the group session. in
No.
there.
Is
But
it good?
They have mainstream actors and directors doing the reenactments.
I just had that idea.
Well, it's too late.
God damn it! I had that idea the other day.
You could do it in America. This is British.
Yeah, this is an English show, so you have like an opportunity, Kelly.
We were watching Web of Lies, and I was like, you know what would be awesome is if they did recreations, but with like famous people
Like
Yeah.
and
Tarantino
good
did.
directors,
Like when Will Ferrell made that Lifetime movie.
exactly like that.
Well, I feel at that point they're making fun of the people.
No, it doesn't
No.
have to be.
No, this was very serious.
Not like goofy, just like
Yeah.
good,
This
like
is
good
the lady-
actors.
The lady who played the Bionic Woman on the when they try to reboot that. Do you remember that show?
Yeah.
Years ago.
Yeah, at the same time they tried to redo that Wonder Woman, and then that just fell like right off the face of the planet.
Yeah, and so she's playing the lead character or whatever you want to say, and the director of the show Skins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he directed the reenactment.
Oh.
So it's pretty interesting. Yeah,
That's one where I'm like, where is your family to help you? That was awful. Felt bad for her.
oh yeah,
True
she was-
Horror
she was
is
True
right.
that
Horror on
episode.
Shudder. Now that I'll
Yeah.
check out.
Yeah.
I'm probably pretty done. I went and looked up that second episode of Haunted on Reddit. People are mad.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to.
Well,
I need
that's
to
your
read
first
that.
problem. You went to Reddit.
Oh, I love Reddit. That's
No, I like to read people's dramatic thoughts.
well, and they were true. Like what people were when you see it, like it makes sense what they're talking about.
Now, what
Yeah.
are they mad about?
Well, because again,
Besides you.
I must have slept through that episode.
They're mad about the same things he's mad about.
and just that it's like it's put forth as a true story, but there's no way that anything that happened in that episode. Well, not nothing, but that I don't want to spoil it for you guys or
Okay.
listeners.
We'll watch it. We'll watch it tonight.
But if you watch it, you're like, huh. So,
Right. Speaking of spooky TV, who's watching The Haunting of Hill House?
Oh my God!
I'm going to be.
I shotgunned it real fast.
Did
Oh, you
you?
finished
It's
it already?
so good.
I find it very like it's heavy.
Yeah.
So I gotta
Yeah,
be
like-
ready for it.
It's like if Oculus was a TV series.
Yeah, well, it's Mike Flanagan.
I'm
Yeah.
3 episodes in. It is fucking amazing and scary and
Yeah.
sad
I'm very excited then.
and really well done.
I can't wait.
it's really good.
And sexy. That's a beautiful family.
Yeah.
Again, I keep saying this. I feel like no one realizes there's also another Shirley Jackson adaptation. It's a movie. We've always lived in the castle, which almost kind of has a similar feel to the new.
Is that a new?
It's new. It's
Yeah.
got Crispin Glover in it.
Where's that?
Maybe Hulu.
Really?
Maybe, but I'm not sure.
I always liked that book. It was so weird.
Yeah, I'm not even sure it's out yet, but IMDb it. If it's not out, it's on its way out.
Yeah. That one's more like family melodrama and less supernatural.
It's like not supposed to be supernatural at
Yeah.
all, but
Yeah.
like
It's a bunch of weirdos. It's almost like the Addams Family without the jokes.
mhm.
Really? I mean, honestly.
No,
like,
yeah.
That, if you
and also without like a Thing or a Cousin It.
yeah, I kind of wish that they had that in there at least.
Okay, was Addams Family on when we were kids?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Syndication
Was it?
Is that
Okay.
all the time?
Oh, it's syndication. Okay.
Yeah,
no, they
that's what
weren't
I'm talking
making
about.
new episodes.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
like these Batman 60s Batman.
Did you guys
shows.
watch The Addams Family?
No,
Not really.
What about the Munsters?
I've never seen either one.
I was doing different things in my life then.
You weren't watching TV?
Yes, but I was watching different things on TV.
What
Is
were you
that
watching?
okay?
It is okay. I'm just
Man,
no. I'm just so surprised.
I don't know. What era are we talking about? What years? I'll give you a rundown of the things I was watching. Probably Who's the Boss? That was my
Mid-80s.
Same
jam.
time.
Yeah.
The same time as everything else that we were watching.
But she was probably watching. You weren't coming home from school and turning on the TV then.
Well, I was a latchkey kid. I would come home, I'd be
Yeah.
all alone. So probably.
I watched Days of Our Lives when I was
Oh,
a kid.
Guiding Light was my shit.
oh,
I
that's
was
probably
a-
what they
I
were
was a
doing
soap opera
when
kid.
we were
Wasn't-
watching Batman.
Weren't those on while we were still at school?
Yeah,
Yeah, we got out just in time for Days of
So
Our
is,
Lives.
I feel like
Oh, okay.
Batman also. I feel like you and I probably watched a lot of Batman when we stayed home from school. sick.
Yeah, that
Price
and the
is Right.
Price is Right. Yeah.
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 I stayed home a lot.
Yeah, I was watching more
School's
stuff
stupid.
on network, not these like 64 or 19. Like,
It's more like Nickelodeon, right? Isn't that that's
19
who
and
had-
64 is where I watched Batman and all those
Oh.
other shows.
See, I guess I was cool and I had cable.
I did not have
So,
cable.
Whatever. but I definitely watched the Monkeys on Nickelodeon.
Yeah, I watched a lot of Comedy Central after school too.
Comedy Central got me through middle school, which was a really, really, really hard time in my life.
Comedy Central didn't even exist when I was
Rita
watching
Rudner.
Batman the
I was
animated
about
series.
to say, yeah, we didn't really. Oh, the animated series.
Or not the, I'm sorry, not the
Understood
animated
stuff.
series, the 60s
66.
series.
Short attention span theater,
Yeah.
Kids in the Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff was more like high school for me.
Yeah, me too.
Well, you are a couple of years older than us.
Still.
And
What?
I'm,
This
I
doesn't
can't-
add up. I don't
I'm
buy
the
it. I don't buy this at all.
I think it's a lie.
I think this is like
I think they actually know every
Cake.
episode
Yeah.
like intimately.
their dad's a serial killer.
Yeah.
Is this an intervention? Like, guess what?
Yeah.
We haven't seen, guys. Okay, what have we seen that we all? What touchdowns do we have together?
Well,
Nothing
lots
apparently.
of things.
Brady Bunch, right?
Oh,
I
yeah,
watched
the Brady
Brady
Bunch.
Bunch.
Brady Bunch was great.
MASH. I hated MASH.
you
I was
never
always
watched.
so mad when MASH was
MASH.
on. I was like, I want to watch the Monkeys.
So this
Yes.
is kind of like
Old people time.
this is kind of like Haunted, where we're all sitting in a room and someone's saying something and everyone's shocked to hear it.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a reenactment of Amy coming home and turning on her TV and Bewitched. I Dream of Jeannie.
I did watch those shows, but I didn't really like them. I did like Gilligan's Island though.
Gilligan's Island,
And
yeah.
Brady Bunch. Those were my jams.
I watched I Love Lucy. Does that count?
Ugh.
Yeah, I did watch that too.
You didn't like I Love Lucy?
I didn't. I actually was just having this conversation the other day. Like, I tried to. I watched
Yeah.
it. I didn't like it.
Have you watched it like as an adult?
Yeah.
You still don't like it.
I'm not feeling
That's
it.
shocking. Do you like Dick Van Dyke Show?
I do
you
like
like
Dick Van
Dick?
Dyke.
Yeah, that's a great show.
I love Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah.
Not feeling I Love Lucy.
We went to the Hollywood Museum, which is right off the Hollywood Boulevard where the Walk of Fame is. We just kind of stumbled across it, and we were like, "Let's do
You're
this."
like, "Boof." Oh, what was that? Oh, look, it's the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I broke my ankle.
And we decided to go into this museum because it was like $15 a ticket. Let's do it.
It
And
looks like nothing from outside. You
It's
think like, oh, this is going to be like 2 rooms.
it's an old Max Factor makeup studio that they put this like crazy museum in.
They give you guys makeovers?
No, but they have these little rooms on the bottom floor, like the ground floor, which is kind of dedicated to Max Factor and all the stuff and the women he worked with and blah, 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 which I was like less intrigued by.
Max Factor.
But they did have a redheads room,
Mhm.
and Lucille Ball was featured prominently.
yeah, every room was
there.
supposed to be, I guess, lit.
Lit AF?
Four brunettes, redheads, blondes.
Oh.
And then it would also had all the clothing that goes along with your
Yeah.
skin or your hair color.
And
Which
the
is so funny
makeups.
because she was always in black and white.
everywhere she went.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. Good
I
point.
just think it's funny. Like, everyone was talking about her being the most famous redhead, but no one saw her hair until like the later
I think
60s.
Desi saw her red hair.
But we'll-
Yeah, all over.
Oh Jesus! So he was pulling it out of the shower drain.
Yeah, that's what he meant.
Yep, I know.
Didn't
That's
you
where
ever
I
think
went.
that? That's what I thought
with
was
it.
funny. They would talk about her being a redhead. And I'm like, how would I ever know that? I mean, eventually you know that, but
Yeah.
like if you start off at the beginning,
Yeah, it's
if
true.
you were there when it first happened,
when she first became a red.
well, when she first became a
Right, a
TV
star,
person, you're like, I don't know, I guess.
Well,
Yeah.
I take your word for it.
You can
Look
still
at
buy
those beautiful
magazines.
blue eyes.
Magazines were in color and like
Yeah,
things
that's
like
true.
that.
All right, but what if
Oh
you didn't
yeah,
do
all the
that?
celebrity magazines. Everybody was into that back then.
Yeah.
That was TMZ before
Y'all
TMZ.
remember magazines? So then
I was just thinking about getting another subscription to EW the other day.
I kind of like getting Entertainment Weekly.
That was fun.
I love taking it in the bathroom when
Yeah.
it first shows up.
It's
at the
a good
door.
shit.
Can't you just get the digital version?
Read.
and
That's why I haven't
read
done
on
it.
your phone.
That's
yeah.
why I haven't done it.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say this Hollywood Museum. I'm like, okay, makeup. But then we went to. They have 2 cool, very relevant to our interests spaces in this museum. One being the amalgamated,
Dynamics.
which is I guess
It sounds like a business that makes computers.
NFX house.
Yeah, they did the effects for the new It for
Oh.
Annabelle, and they had all kinds of stuff. I got my picture with one of the bugs from Starship Troopers.
Nice. Which one?
Aliens. They did a lot of alien
big one.
stuff.
Which bug though? They're all big.
It's a
It's
big
a big
fucking
bug.
bag.
Big bug.
It's a big bag.
The brain bug?
No,
No.
not the brain bug.
One of the
soldiers.
the
The
soldier bug.
arachnids?
Yeah.
I got you.
If you go to our Instagram, you can see pictures.
And that was really neat to go through that room
Yeah,
and
that
to
sounds
see
awesome. I'd like that.
all these really creepy weirdo thingies. And then they're down in the basement in the dungeon. They have this just like horror movie tribute room, which has a little exhibit about Master and Commander, which I think doesn't make sense, but what
Just
else?
thrown in. Just thrown in for fun. They actually have Russell Crowe down there.
But they actually have the mask from Jason Goes to Hell, which is my favorite Friday the 13th.
Did they have an elevator to get you down in there and back?
No.
You
I mean,
had to use
maybe.
stairs?
I didn't look.
I don't like that.
They might have had an elevator. They have to be ADA compliant, I'm sure, in some way.
You know, I'm not sure that I posted the picture of me with the bug, but I will.
But down in this like dungeon, it was really neat. And they had the Loomis's coat from Halloween 4. Was it 4? And Jamie's little clown outfit. And they had all kinds of little goofy. They had a Vampira
Whose
dress.
clown outfit?
Jamie.
Danielle Harris.
Danielle Harris.
Oh. From the new Halloween.
Well, Halloween 4.
Oh, was she in Halloween 4?
She was the little girl.
Oh, right. That's the one. It's raining red. No, which one was that? Is that 4 or 5?
It's raining red. I don't know. I'm not in charge of these things. I'm not a big Halloween fan. I mean, I'm not saying.
I saw one of those with you guys at the theater.
I don't remember, man.
One of the Halloweens?
Yeah.
I would guess Resurrection.
No, it was 4 or 5.
Oh, okay. You saw it with me?
Yeah. At the Cheapy Theater, in fact.
Were we scared?
No.
Anyway, I thought that was just like a special little weirdo moment. We found this museum, and it was just a lot of fun. And I'm sure people from LA are like, you should have gone to XYZ. Listen.
I love XYZ.
We were here, we were there, and it was fun, and we had a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And leave me alone.
Did you go to Yum Yum Donuts?
No.
I was looking for that picture.
Okay.
Of the bug.
Yeah.
Did you mention that there was the hallway from Silence of the Lambs?
Oh, that was really cool. Like the prison,
cells?
the
Oh,
cells,
yeah.
And you could pretend to.
Did somebody throw cum on you?
It actually said there was a little placard that said I can smell your cunt.
Nice.
But it was
they
used like the little like ampersand in the
right. They did.
They didn't say cunt.
They did Charlie Brown speak.
And there's a padded room you can go in and goof around in.
I have to say, his ejaculate was very.
Boy. Yeah. It was like rubber cement, which is probably what it actually was.
I mean, granted, yes, she was assaulted, but I was impressed that he could get it that far.
Jeez Louise.
Hey, Andy.
Amy's
hashtag me too, motherfucker.
Yeah, Amy's looking at me with scorn, but that's the trajectory and the.
It's not scorn, Andy. I'm just disappointed
that it hit her in her face. That's very impressive, actually.
I mean just from a physics standpoint,
it's a movie.
I mean, I've never had to go that far.
Okay.
I think he flung it.
But it's how?
Like it was on his hand, and he like.
That's thick.
It was thick.
Final.
Did you wait? Did you guys go to the Hollywood Hills? Did you guys go to the Hollywood Hills?
We did.
Did you engage in any kind of like weird like drug?
We went to the Griffith Observatory. That's the Hollywood Hills.
Did I do what?
So did you engage in any like murder cult like drug orgies?
I don't know how well
I did participate in their legal drugs. Good on you, California. What can we do, Ohio?
Well, they're working on it. Calm down.
Okay.
Yeah.
But my final California story I want to share is we got to meet an internet friend for the first time, and it was awesome. We got to meet Miles and Caitlin. Yay. It was so awesome.
I did.
And little Jack. He's going to be Jack for Halloween, everybody. Spoiler alert. If you remember Miles from Show. And he's been on this show before, and he's somebody we've known for ever and ever and ever.
Over a decade.
Yeah, and it's just really cool.
Yeah, it was really fun to spend time with them, and Caitlin's got a lot of exciting stuff going on, but I don't know what we're allowed to talk about.
None of it.
We'll leave it alone.
Did you guys go on any crazy Hollywood diets?
I didn't have any juice.
What was it?
It's called the French fry diet. They have good French fries there.
The San Diego mindset.
We went to In-N-Out Burger.
Oh, In-N-Out, so good. You've had In-N-Out?
I haven't.
You have?
I love the old In-N-Out.
I love a good In-N-Out, but this was really tasty.
Yeah,
I'd like a movie with Kevin Kline.
Yeah, but he was straight. He was a teacher. He
was in the closet.
Yeah. You know.
So
anyway.
Yeah, Griffith Observatory.
We did that.
We climbed the entire hill.
Oh my god!
To get to the top because parking was crazy because of a concert at the Greek.
Did you go up to the Hollywood sign?
You can see it.
No, you can see it from there, and
You can see it from Griffith Observatory where we were, but it was dark. But I could see it, but I could take a picture and you'd be like, what the fuck am I looking at? But then we saw it from Hollywood and Highland where we were for the Walk
You
of
can
Fame.
kind of see it everywhere.
Just to tie it back to everything else, there's a great episode of Paranormal Witness. The first one has a ghost story at the Hollywood sign.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
I need to go back and watch
I
that.
have to watch that again.
It's real good.
Paranormal Witness is still my favorite of all
It's
of
the
those.
best so far. It's the best one. I haven't seen a
Yeah,
better
I've always enjoyed that.
paranormal reenactment show that tops it. It's very
Isn't that funny? That's a genre now.
yeah.
Could you imagine what we would have given as kids
Anything.
to have? Because we had Unsolved Mysteries, and that was it.
Yeah. Well, we also had sightings.
Yeah, but you had to stay up super late to watch Sightings.
Mysteries was so good.
I would have traded all my friends to suspicious men in vans
Yeah.
just to get a show like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's got candy, go!
Yeah.
But anyway.
Unsolved Mysteries had like some paranormal
Sometimes.
episodes.
And sightings.
Yeah, and then you had Jack Palance and Believe It or Not.
Ripley's Believe It or Not. There was
Yeah.
In Search Of.
Yeah,
from
but
the
they
70s.
we had one series at a time.
Yeah, it was always one at a time.
Yeah, we didn't have all these options that you kids have.
Yeah.
You should be grateful.
You have them.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Amy probably would have missed it anyway.
Yeah,
mean,
we
I
would
have
have
them
watched
now.
it. We were
Yeah.
like, whatever.
But
Rescue 911 was another one I was really
that was good
happy
stuff.
That was
with.
fun.
Yeah,
All right. Have we bounced enough?
I think so.
Reminder, patreon.com/NOTLP.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
I've got some big news.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do. You guys ready for this?
uh-huh.
I ordered 2 shirts from Fright Rags.
What were they?
They're both the new Halloween collection.
Ooh.
Uh-huh.
Both Halloween 3
Uh-huh.
to commemorate watching Halloween 3 the other day. And one is, they're both baseball tees.
Ooh, I like a
Very
baseball
sexy.
tee.
I love a
Yeah.
baseball tee. One is the pumpkin mask, and one is just the 3 silhouettes of the trick-or-treaters.
Those are so fun.
Yeah.
That is the best Halloween.
It's a pretty great fucking... I don't
Oh.
understand why it doesn't get listed at the top.
I'm a shithead. We ran into Charlie in
Yes.
Pasadena at the Halloween 40s
Gonzalez?
listener. Huh?
Gonzalez?
No, no, no.
He's one of our listeners.
He's a listener.
Oh.
No, he's California Charlie, we'll call him.
Oh, okay.
California
normal
Charlie.
height.
California.
Normal height. Like
Normal
he's
height
tall,
Charlie.
but he's not insane.
Okay.
He bought 8 shirts from
8
Fright
shirts
Rags.
from Fright Rags.
Oh, yeah.
This kid's got money.
I've got a lot of shirts
Loaded.
from Fright Rags.
Yeah.
We should talk, me and
I've got a
him.
couple.
We had a good time.
Oh, and we met
And Andy.
Andy.
Yeah.
White Andy. We ran into White Andy.
White Andy.
I feel like White Andy's more of a Horror Hound Radio fan, and that's fine.
Mhm.
That's fine.
We're
But
just-
he does like this show too.
We're just as good, if not better.
And Donnie.
we saw Donnie.
And we saw Donnie, who
Donnie, who we've met at
Yeah,
Horror Hound a
at
couple
Indy.
times?
Yeah.
he was with Juliet Landau.
He was with her?
Yeah, they're married.
Yeah, they're together. No, when
No.
that one time
He was a handler.
he was
He
handling
was the
her.
one who saved me from my weirdo stalker in the Indie Horror Hound that one
Yeah.
time.
There are multiple Donnies.
Yeah, I don't think it's the Donnie I'm
Beard?
thinking of. No, definitely not the Donnie.
No, I feel like you've met him. Though.
There's comic book Donnie.
Yeah, comic book Donnie is the guy that works at Horror Hounds.
I'm thinking
was
of like
just-
Wisconsin Donnie.
Oh, I don't know. Who
Donnie
that is.
Vanderbros.
Oh, that's another Donnie. Here's the thing.
Too many Donnie.
Donnie Wahlberg.
It's a Donnybrook.
Donnie Wahlberg.
I'm shopping at Donnybrook.
Anyway,
All right.
we did meet a lot of people. Damn it, I'm an asshat.
Yeah, we had so much fun.
We really did have a good time.
It's fine. Fright Rags was the longest line the whole time there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a weird horror hound. I know
Yeah?
we'll talk about this later, but that's when it's a franchise specific convention. I've never done anything like this before. I've only ever gone to Horror Hound weekends.
I
which
bet
is
that guy
everything.
bought some of the same shirts I bought. Being
All right,
honest.
Charlie. Here's
Charlie,
what I
yeah.
need to know. Take pics of all of your shirts. Send them in. We will compare with what Kelley has, and then one day you guys sync up, wear them on the same day, and take pictures of your adventures.
We should wear them on Halloween
And then we will
Oh.
Photoshop.
while we watch Halloween 3.
We'll Photoshop you guys on a couch together watching Halloween 3
It has to be
in your
real.
same shirts.
Yeah, that
Um,
sounds like a great idea.
Yes, a franchise specific horror hound. It's different. I'm a Friday the 13th kind of gal. So I'm not big on the Halloween mythos and all that stuff. It's just not my
She likes the stuff that's more like softcore pornography.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Shut up.
Just saying.
And so I was just walking around like these people, like, there's so many actors there. Like, it was more about seeing the actors versus going to like a horror hound where you go to a screening and a panel and you do the vendor hall and you hang out with everybody. It was just like a different thing. It was
real
cool
laid back. I
and
like
strange and laid back.
Oh, there was no hanging out though?
Oh, there was. They had stuff. Alan Howarth, is that how you say his name?
Who?
Yeah. The composer, he did a concert at another horror hound. He did that show again here, a VIP event after hours.
Oh, right.
And they had the screenings for the VIPs, and they did a tour of the filming locations for the first movie in Pasadena.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you guys get to go meet the Big Bang Theory people in Pasadena?
Is that where they are?
Oh, they're not really there, I don't think, but that's where the show takes place.
I'm going to say a thing.
I didn't
And if
know
this
that.
hurts anybody's feelings, I'm sorry. But from what I saw, Pasadena's boring.
Oh, I think everyone would probably agree with you on that.
Yeah, but I think it's
But Caltech
pretty.
is there.
It's relaxing and beautiful, but it doesn't have the excitement
There's nothing going on there.
of a Cincinnati, for instance.
Yeah, it's the Toledo of California.
It's just like,
Toledo's not beautiful.
Meh.
I don't know why I chose that.
I think people have money there, and I don't know what to do with that.
Maybe
Anyway,
part of it.
I tried to Zillow houses like in my normal price range, which would make me feel comfortable, and I had to blow out my budget.
And you found a sewer.
Yeah.
You're like, you can buy this sewer.
Would you
for
like
what
this
you
lady's
have.
shed in her backyard? It has.
It's old.
Like the rundown
running
Myers
water.
house with the dead dog in it was still
Yeah.
worth more than our house.
Yeah.
It's missing some planks and boards.
Y'all need to get your real estate prices under control. I don't know if you know this, but you're on a fucking fault line. Get over it. It's stupid. But anyway. Okay.
It is beautiful, though.
I'm not a California person. It does nothing for me. Like,
You're not a what person?
I'm not a California
A what?
person. I'm not a California
California.
roll. California. I'm not
Alright.
a California.
I loved Long Beach, though.
California.
I'd live on Long Beach, no problem.
Yeah, you're part of the LBC?
Yep.
But they're all on
With Snoop?
skateboards and I can't handle it. I don't understand your culture.
It was beautiful there.
Snoop and Sublime?
Yeah.
I am wound way too fucking tight for this bullshit.
Get you
I can't.
tatted up?
Well, that's why you
Can't deal
go
with
down
it.
to the dispensary
Yeah.
and then you just lay on the beach,
You know what we can do, man?
play with people's dogs.
We can open up a surf shop.
We could.
We'll get all tatted up.
And then people will ask us questions. We're like, I don't know.
We'll get,
I've never surfed.
Would you like me to pull up a YouTube video to help you?
we'll get
look like
beanies. We're not gonna make the surfboards. We're gonna be middlemen.
Yeah, but we got.
But we're gonna look like we make
We
them.
have to dispense the vice, and we're not equipped for that.
I'll be
just
like,
gonna be
yeah,
like-
this one's pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
Do you guys still say radical?
Yeah, sharks. I'm just gonna keep saying, yeah, sharks.
Are there more sharks in the Pacific versus the Atlantic?
That's
I prefer the one that has more sharks.
like saying. I mean, there's the same. I think.
The same.
Yeah.
The same.
Okay.
I don't know. I always hear more about. I feel like I hear more about attacks
The
happening
East
in
Coast.
California.
There.
Oh, I hear
Yeah,
East
yeah,
Coast.
Do you hear East Coast?
Yeah.
There's Atlantic great whites,
Mm-hmm.
and they're bad news.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like there, I think are more great whites around Malibu, like San Luis Obispo.
Are they just more laid back, like Californians?
No, they attack a lot of surfers there. I just think there's less
Yeah.
surfing in the East Coast.
Oh, that's true.
So a lot of surf attacks on the West Coast,
I
and
see.
swimmer attacks on the East Coast.
I'm trying to think back to like Point Break and just like going through what happened in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody got attacked by a shark, so I'm not sure I believe you.
No, that would make it so much better,
Right.
if possible.
Okay.
I think we're done here, right?
I
I'm
just
hungry.
realized I belong in Cincinnati.
You're hungry?
Yeah.
Yeah, Andy's hungry. We should move on.
Oh, he's gonna get hangry, and this is gonna get real
I need
angry.
a Snickers.
We'll have to take a lunch break between podcasts.
Okay. All right, we'll be right back.
Hello, boys and girls. It's time for straight to video Russian roulette.
And welcome back. It smells like farts in this room.
Why does it smell
Freddy,
like farts?
I don't know.
I left the room to get you more coffee. I come back, it smells like farts.
I didn't do it.
Okay. So I watched Malevolent, not to be confused with the animated movie that's coming out, Malevolent, which looks a lot like your style of anime or of art,
Yeah?
Kelley. So you might want to look into that.
I'm
But
very
this
excited
one,
to hear that.
directed by Olaf de Fleur Johansson,
I'm sorry, what?
You know, Olaf de Fleur de Johansen.
That just sounds fake. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Is he from St. Olaf?
And written by Ben Katay or Katay, I'm not sure how he pronounces it, but he wrote Strangers Pray at Night.
Oh, that's fun.
Isn't that funny? I didn't
That's
realize
on
that.
Amazon Prime right now.
It is.
Oh, also, real quick, Territory 2, our friend Kevin Kangas,
Yeah.
his movie is on Prime for free right now.
Oh.
Territory 2, featuring my voice.
Oh, I didn't know
What?
your voice was in that one.
Yeah, I'm a voice actor in that movie.
I didn't know that.
I voice an evil creature.
Oh my god, I'm gonna watch that immediately.
Have you watched it yet?
No.
All right. We'll watch it.
Yeah, just tell me when you're on, then I can just
Yeah,
fast
like, I'll
forward
just
to
I think
it.
it's towards the end.
I need a timestamp.
No offense, Kevin.
Just kidding.
I'm gonna watch it for Kelly.
You're a bastard.
All right. So this film, Angela and Jackson are a couple of Americans who are visiting their family in, I want to say it was Scotland, but that's really not super important. Their grandpa,
Might be to the Scottish people.
James Cosmo, who you might know from Game
Jimmy
of Thrones
Cos.
and Braveheart. He's a older blonde man with a really giant blonde mustache. Anyways, he's their peepaw. And they're kind of con
Does
artists.
he play Braveheart's best friend in Braveheart?
I think he's one of his friends. Yeah.
He's like the big giant dude,
yeah, he's a big guy.
and he like kind of has like the flirtation with the French girl.
I think that's right.
Yeah,
He was also in Highlander.
he's Braveheart's best friend.
He's one of the.
He's
clans.
always in that shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's in all that
Braveheart is the
stuff.
best friend.
So
Oh.
there's Angela Jackson and Jackson's girlfriend Beth, and then their friend Elliot, and they are ghost hunters, kind of. But really, what they are is they're scam artists. They find vulnerable people who claim they're being haunted. They go in and they do like a fake cleansing, and they also bring in like theatrics, like pre-recorded moans and groans, that sort of crap. Well, they
Do this time they actually bring the sex groans?
they bring the sex groans.
So
And
this
then
is a sexy
the
ghost.
shit hits the fan. They end up going to on one of their jobs. The sister has a real vision in the beginning, and it's actually really creepy. This movie I liked it a lot. Then they get called to this haunted foster home, where this woman says that like she is being tormented by screams and laughter at night, and she can't take it anymore. And the sister does this research on the place and says these kids.
Turns out somebody's watching Ghostbusters in the next
Right,
room.
it's just Ghostbusters. But she does some research on it, and there was all these kids died or disappeared or whatever. Well, the rest of the film is them going and doing this investigation. It's very spooky. It's really well acted. I do recommend it. You have another person who was also in Highlander in this movie, Celia Emery,
Oh yes.
as the foster mom. Do you really know what I'm talking about?
She was the foster mom in Highlander as well.
She was in Nanny McPhee. She was
Typecast. She was a foster mom.
yeah, she was a foster mom in that.
Mhm.
You would know her if you see her.
I'm sure you're right.
She was in Phantom Menace, your favorite movie.
Mm-hmm.
But
But I definitely know her. This sounds good.
it is good, and that's why I'm not getting into too many of the details. It actually has some pretty effective, spooky moments in it.
Where can you watch this?
On Netflix,
Okay.
and if you like, it's kind of in the style of like a Guillermo del Toro, only a little
Like The Orphanage?
kind of
Well, he didn't direct that, but he produced it.
a little less fanciful than that. Fanciful,
Fanciful.
a little less full of fancy, but it's really solid. It's good. It's not like I'll leave it at that. I don't want to give away too much.
Yeah.
I'll watch this.
It's not like earth shattering. It's just a good old fashioned ghost story.
Which I love, a good old fashioned ghost story.
Yeah,
If it's done right.
yeah. Just an old fashioned ghost song.
Do you ever always just in your head hear just an old fashioned hot dog whenever that song comes on?
From the commercial?
Yeah. I can't hear that
Yeah.
song and not hear just an old fashioned hot dog.
I do that with Twilight Time.
Yeah, Skyline Time.
Time. Yeah.
So that was an actual jingle, the old-fashioned hot dog.
Oh my god. Yes.
We've had this
It was
conversation
on. They played.
before.
They played.
I never heard.
They played a commercial during Batman.
What was the brand?
And Robin during the series, yeah.
What was the brand?
It was Cons.
Okay.
The Cincinnati Cons.
James Cons.
Yeah.
It was hugely popular.
Kelly's got Johnsonville brats. Johnsonville brats.
I've seen that one. That's a dick move too.
Yeah. He's like, I've only got 3 of these things.
All right, thank you, Freddie, for your review of Malevolent.
I kept it brief.
I'm so proud of you.
Are you more mad that we haven't seen Batman or haven't heard that jingle?
Batman.
Yeah.
I understand. I am the oldest, so that commercial came out in probably 1980, and so you guys were like super young, if born, and
if born.
and so I can't really fault you for it.
What part of 1980? Because if it was sometimes before
Summer.
January 31st. Well, I was born then.
But you weren't watching hot dog commercials.
I had been born. All right, so let's shoot somebody. I got a movie gun. I'm gonna shoot. Bullet.
That's a cute little jingle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just an old-fashioned hot dog.
Full of lips and full of assholes too.
All right, Andy, you're up
It's
first.
full
Movie
of
gun, movie bullet.
It's full of investigative reporters.
You live. Me. I live. Mikey B. He lives.
Oh, Kelley.
Uh-oh, Kelley.
Oh,
Oh,
son
Kelley.
of a bitch.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh, hey there, Dean.
Oh,
That's-
Dean, that's coming back.
it's already back.
It's back. It's back, baby.
You get to watch a
They're making a new murderer.
horror comedy called Slice. When a pizza delivery driver is murdered on the job, the city searches for someone to blame. Ghosts, drug dealers, a disgraced werewolf.
Disgraced werewolf.
This sounds okay.
This stars Joe Keery, who's the big-haired kid from Stranger Things.
Oh, okay.
Chris Parnell is in it.
I love him.
Ooh.
Chance the Rapper is in it.
This sounds fun.
Hannibal Buress, Paul Shear.
Oh, I think I might like this.
wow.
Everybody's good in this.
It's got terrible reviews on Prime, but it could be fun. I don't know. Get
I
high,
like all
watch
those
it.
people.
It's called Slice.
Slicehead.
Slice.
Who wants to get pizza?
Oh,
from
slice or slicehead?
Slice.
Just slice it.
Slice.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling pizza, Andy.
All right,
You're
so
not filling it.
we'll be right back. Thank you.
Our main attraction is Halloween TV specials.
Yeah.
I'm up first with my picks, and then we'll get to the patrons' picks.
Yeah.
Up first from November 4th, which is like a few days after Halloween, 1960, The Howling Man, The
Woo.
Twilight Zone.
Woo!
Everyone was gathered around their little tube TV, with their tube tops on, eating tubes. Big bowl of tubes.
Big bowl of tubes.
Tubes of meat paste.
They got
This
tubes
one-
in their ears.
Directed by Douglas Hayes, written by Charles Beaumont, who wrote some of the best episodes of Twilight Zone and some great short stories. I don't know, Kelly, if you read much of Charles Beaumont.
Probably.
So awesome. This was also a short story by him. You have this character who is out kind of stranded out in the middle of nowhere and ends up going to this keep for shelter.
He's on a walking tour of Central Europe.
Yeah.
Just out in the mountains in his suit and his cardigan.
That's
And-
it.
and
Does
this
he have
is-
like a bag?
It didn't seem that way.
Maybe
did
he's
it?
been staying
Maybe
in a
left it
village.
outside.
He had a cardigan.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kelley.
I'm just saying, like, it
Yeah.
seems like a weird attire.
I know. I don't
Yeah.
like it. These
Oh, he looked crisp. I loved the outfit. But
Yeah,
like,
he had a strange face.
he did have a
his
strange
upper
face.
Great
lip just
face.
kind of. There wasn't any
It was
definition.
it was rocky.
Yeah,
He had like a real craggy face.
it's H.M. Wynant.
You know he's still
Wynant?
working?
Is he really?
Yeah,
Wow.
he
He's
still
acted in a
alive?
movie. Yeah, he was born
Yeah.
in 1927. He was in something this year.
Living room coffin.
Yeah,
Good for him.
it was probably his burial.
Yeah,
He's
that's probably
almost. He's
what
gotta
it
be like 90 or some shit. I cannot do math.
was. He's on. He's in his. I guess he's 27, 1927. Just carry the 2.
70,
He's 91.
88 Plus 3. Yeah.
And you're right. This does remind me very much of sort of a short story that would have been written around that time. Like, actually,
Yeah.
sounds a lot like Sardonicus or Mr. Sardonicus.
Refresh my memory.
That's the one with the guy that smiles and he can't stop smiling because he dug up a grave in Poland.
Oh yeah.
But it's not that.
So this takes place after World War One. This is between World War One and World War Two, and that becomes important later.
Mhm.
The
The Great War.
Great War, and
It was a great war.
Oh, it's the best.
Loved it.
he comes to this cathedral or this
Monastery. Yeah.
Thank you.
A hermitage.
Hermitage. Yeah, that's what
A
they
monk
call it.
house. The monkey house.
A monkery.
It smells of pee
And
and bananas.
there are all these monks and bananas and pee-pee. And they're the long beardy types.
Moses.
Yeah, they all look like Moses, which is ironic because wasn't John Carradine in Ten Commandments?
He did something in Ten Commandments.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
was
think he
thinking the
was.
same thing. I mean, he wasn't Moses. I think he
No.
was the voice of... No, Charlton Heston was the voice of God.
Yeah.
Oh, look it up. Keep
But John
going.
Carradine is Brother Jerome, the head of this order.
John Carradine?
Jerry. Brother Jerry.
He was Aaron.
Aaron, that's right. Let's fist bump.
He was Aaron in Ten Commandments.
Yeah.
Aaron.
Aaron. That's Moses' brother, the high priest of the tabernacle.
So yeah, so there you start hearing this howling. And he's like, "What's that?" And Brother Jerome is like, "I don't know what you're talking about."
Get the fuck out, basically.
Well, they
There's
turn
no
him away.
howling here.
He like shows up and they're like, no,
Yeah, we can't help you.
no, go away, bitch.
I have to say, the devil has an interesting howl.
Mm-hmm.
It's spooky.
Yeah.
It is spooky. That's why I chose this episode. I think it's thick with Halloweeny atmosphere.
Let me, but before we move on, I want to say the production value for the Twilight Zone was on point.
It holds up so well.
It was like,
That's why
first
it's
of
my favorite show.
this is what always amazes me. I always have to come back to Hammer Horror about this because the thing that bothers me about Hammer Horror is like their sets always look so paltry. And I'm like, even the Twilight Zone has a more epic looking castle on TV than fucking Dracula's castle in Hammer's Dracula movies.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
You know what else I love about this episode? The
What?
cinematography. They make
Yeah,
you, they
it's
make
gorgeous.
you feel like you're on a ship
Yeah.
at sea, like because
Yeah, they move the camera around.
There's a lot of that
Yeah.
off-kilter, like tilty cam.
yeah, you never feel safe
Mhm.
in this episode at all, in any moment. Which you shouldn't, because you're supposed to be sympathizing with this guy who's lost in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And eventually, he meets the Howling Man on the other side of this barricaded door, and the door is barricaded with a crook.
Yeah.
Shepherd's
that's it.
crook.
Yeah, just a shepherd's crook. And
It's the same one from the Ten Commandments.
and the Howling Man says, you know, they're crazy. They've trapped me in here
He's got kind of a Jesus-y look about him.
a little bit, and he's very sympathetic.
Yeah.
You're like, you kind
He's
of
soft.
you believe him because you're like, yeah, these guys are weirdos, right? Like, and he's like, they'll kill me. They'll kill both of us if you screw up. You got to help me out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And Brother Jerome ends up having this conversation with our traveler,
With Captain Cardigan.
with Captain Cardigan, about he finally comes clean and says, "That's the devil in there."
By the way, BT dubs.
So
Haven't you noticed that he's been here for 5 years, and in the last 5 years we've all bad stuff went away except for the stuff humans do?
And then that guy was like,
It's like, what about all the people starving to death and
Seems
shit?
weird.
It's like, that's just shit we do to each other.
Yeah.
There hasn't been another war like the Great War. And
No
you're like,
great
oh,
war,
shit.
no great natural disasters.
Oh,
it was only
shit.
stuff that was man-made suffering.
and then he's like, whatevs.
He's like, no, I totes believe you. No, cool, bro. Yeah. And then he leaves and he's like, fucking shit. And he lets him out.
I love the moment where he's talking to him. He's like, "This is all that's keeping you in, this crook." He's like, "Why don't you move it yourself?" Because he can,
Yeah.
you know, he's like, "You could reach this probably from your window." He's like, "Stop fucking around."
Yeah,
Let me out
Yeah,
of
he
here.
doesn't even, like, that would have given me pause.
He's like, "He'll kill us. They'll kill us both." And that was I thought that was extra eerie
yeah.
to me. Like that, all that was holding him in was this crook. That
Staff.
you know that should be
True.
like
Is it kind of like a sacred object or something? That
Well,
you
yeah,
can
he
touch?
explains that, that.
in the short story, it's a cross. And I guess they decided they didn't want to deal with
That's
people
too-
writing letters in.
Yeah, it was too churchy. But,
Yeah.
like, it is creepy because, again, it's like this guy's not really trying all that hard to not convince this guy he's the devil.
Well, I mean, it's on logic and reason is on his side as
Right,
a
but-
default.
But when the guy and I do feel like, especially in a lot of these old short stories, where it was simpler, like belief was easy to swing one way or the other for these characters. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you do feel like he almost kind of maybe believed that maybe this guy is the devil.
Yeah, there might have been like a sneaking suspicion.
Yeah, but I that's what I appreciate about that moment where he says, "Why don't you just move it yourself?" And the guy's like, "Ah, just come on!" You're like, well, no, let's hold on a second. Like, seriously, can you answer this question? But he doesn't do that. He just lets him out.
He lets him out and gives him a cloak that turns into the sweetest fucking devil cape you ever saw in your whole goddamn life.
Best Halloween. It's a great Halloween costume.
I love the
horns
reveal.
grow.
Well, as he changes, they do that lawn chainy thing, but they actually do it better, I think,
because
than they
have
did
him
in the movie.
They have him
the
walk
Wolfman.
behind the pillars, and every time he crosses behind a pillar, that's when they cover their lap dissolve, and he's more devil.
Yeah.
Until at the end, he is the classic devil.
I like that scene, but it's so cartoony. The end, the end result devil.
Well, that's how people saw the devil.
Yeah.
It's a little, I guess, back then.
Well, that was,
I'm looking at that from my eyes.
Yeah, the stereotype started back then.
But he had, like, the deep widow's peak.
Yeah.
And, like, the sharp eyebrows.
And the horns.
I feel like that can be scary again because I know it's cartoonish, but I do think that's creepy again.
Everything
it's come
old
full
is new
circle
again.
for me.
Well, it's kind of like Ghosts with Sheets. There is a great Robert Bloch short story where this science lab summons the devil and keeps him in this glass enclosure, and he looks different to everybody, and one of the people sees him that way, and it's pretty cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
So what happens here is now the devil's out, and
oh no, the devil's out.
The wraparound, which we didn't address yet, but like in the beginning of this episode, it's the character David Ellington telling somebody this story.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah.
Did he seem to have an accent at the beginning that he didn't have later in the show?
I didn't notice.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Because at first I thought he sounded like super Eastern European, like when he first started, like when the episode first started, before the intro.
I think that may have been crazy talking.
Maybe.
That's a crazy accent when you've gone off the deep end.
Maybe, because then he lost it by the time we get to the monastery.
Yeah, so you have him telling the story in the beginning, and then after the devil was released, and then you cut back to present day, which is the 60s. And it turns out he's telling this story to his housekeeper.
Mm-hmm. And she looks exactly like a housekeeper.
She really does.
She's dressed as one.
As much as devil looks, she is housekeeper. And he's like, I'm going out. I love money for pizza and don't let the devil out.
And what's the first thing she fucking does?
Well,
She's like, okay, bye, and then walks right over there and lets the devil out.
If he didn't tell the story, then she wouldn't have known about it.
Well, but he would have been howling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was like her first day.
Yeah.
It was like the pet sitter.
I like he had a little crook.
Yeah.
On the because he was in his apartment or whatever.
He was
going to
go get Brother Jerome.
Yeah, he was going for brother. Was he?
Yeah.
He was going
he
for
did
supplies.
say he was going to go.
Yeah.
But he was like,
needed
now
to take him back.
he had spent that entire time from when he let him out until after World War II and all this, trying to find the devil and capture him again. He finally did, and he was going to turn him over to Brother Jerome and
this
take him back.
fucking bitch.
I mean, she
Guess
just doesn't
what?
even.
You lost your job.
That's the first thing she does. She doesn't even like wait.
You're not getting a referral.
Yeah, he didn't.
He's like, hey, that howling thing in there, that
Leave it
horrifying
alone.
howling thing, don't let it out, whatever you do. And you hear that howling thing, and you're like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
I would not let it out. I would probably leave.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
I'd quit.
fuck this job.
I probably would think this guy's crazy and he's kidnapped somebody. I'm going to try to save them.
I
You can
wouldn't
take
think.
this job, shove it.
I'm the kind of person that accidentally lets the devil out.
You would. Oh my God, you would.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm very gullible, too.
Yeah, you would too.
It just seemed like she just really wanted to.
Because he would flatter you,
Yeah.
and that's all it takes. He's
Oh,
like, I'll friend
yeah.
you on Facebook if you let me out.
I'll like your stuff on Instagram.
Jesus Christ. Seriously?
I'll create a second account and like it twice.
You think we're joking? This is the truth. Andy would 100% let the devil out for Instagram likes. You thirsty bitch.
Facebook, too. Don't forget
Oh,
about
okay,
that.
I'm sorry. Both.
You got to friend him.
Yeah.
If you don't, then you don't like me, and it's true. People don't like me.
Especially if you friend us.
Mm-hmm.
People don't like me, it's true.
But not Andy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If the devil can get people to like me, then I'll let him out.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
All right. So moving on.
Yeah, I just want to say I really love this episode of The Twilight Zone. I
of
think
fun.
somebody could make this into a feature film. It's got good bones as a story.
It's a fun episode.
Yeah.
Again, the production is amazing to me.
Yeah.
That they got all that on just on a little TV show.
I had a little backstory for the devil. I think he makes himself get caught all the time.
because he's into it.
No, it just so you can like convince people to let him out.
Gives him a boner.
To work up, prey on the weaknesses, and just show that hey, I can get out anytime I want.
He likes to fuck with people.
Yeah,
Here's like David Blaine.
Here's a question for you.
Yeah,
and this wasn't stated or anything, but did you get the impression that by letting the devil out, that sort of automatically put Ellington's soul in threat of damnation? And that he had to kind of get him back if he didn't want to go to hell when he died.
I don't know,
because there was that line at the end where Rod Serling says, "Brother Jerome and that guy will know till the end of their days and after."
Oh yeah.
And I was like, maybe like letting the devil out like automatically like fucking puts you in. You're like, oh, here's heaven. Here's where you are.
Straight to hell. Do not pass go. Do not collect eternal salvation.
Because that was the thing, people like you accidentally fuck up and go to hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I don't
true.
like religion. It's like,
that's
can you
why?
just give me the benefit of the doubt? It's one of them. I'm trying here, but I'm trying to do a nice thing. This guy's telling me he's being held here against his will. He needs to get home to his family. I let him out to help him. I give him my jacket. Now I'm going to hell? Jesus Christ.
There's Nathaniel Hawthorne's story. It's all he wrote was stories about the devil tricking people.
Young Goodman Brown.
Doing nice things, but then they end up, he gets their soul.
Yeah. I mean, you still did a nice thing.
Yeah. God should be a little bit more fucking forgiving. Fuck you.
Here's the thing that scares me most about heaven and hell. It's forever.
Well,
I just feel the crimes you do on on earth should have a grace period where you only serve as much. It doesn't.
Yeah, you're not in hell forever.
Yeah, it doesn't equate to what you do.
Just like a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, good news is even if those things were real, there's no hell in the Bible. So
honest men make unconvincing liars.
Yeah.
All right. So the Night Gallery.
Yeah, so Night Gallery, this was an episode called Fright Night. This was from, October 15th, 1972.
This also reminds me of another short story that I read, but is slightly different.
So
I feel these episodes are very similar to each other.
In a way, yeah. Jeff Corey directed this, written Robert Malcolm Young, and it's based on a story by Kurt Van Elting.
Oh.
So
what's the story?
I'm sure it's called Fright Night.
I think it was just story by,
not based on a story.
Yeah, not on an actual.
Well, yeah, a story by. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I really want to talk about these people's hair, so get to the synopsis.
Yeah,
their hair. So this one is this author who's like 20 years older than his young hot wife.
A lot more than that.
It's Tom and Leona. They move into.
She looks Nordic.
She does look Nordic.
She looks like she came out of ABBA.
Extremely Aryan.
They move into this house. I presume it's in New England. It has that vibe.
I could imagine her like frolicking naked in those 70s movies through. She's
Norwegian.
You put the grease on the lens and
I
just
could
like
see
through
that
the woods.
Too. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, his like cousin or uncle or some shit dies, and they get
his cousin Zachariah.
It's his cousin Zachariah. Yeah. Who was played by
good old Zach
Alfred from Batman, as we were talking about earlier, which started the whole Batman thing rolling.
There you go, listener. Full circle.
So Tom is coming here to write. It's very shining. They're in a secluded place. The housekeeper's like, I need to get out of here before dark. I don't stay past dark.
And she's not coming back. Does she come back?
No.
Like once they take over, she's done. So.
She's like, I'm retiring.
Like, that's it.
She spent 20 years there.
Did you catch her name is Patience? And they've been in the house for exactly 25 seconds. And she's like, are you fucking coming up here or what?
That's true.
I gotta show you this shit and I gotta leave. Get the fuck up here.
That's some good ironic naming.
Yeah.
Oh, I should throw this out to listeners who may not know, but Night Gallery is the Twilight Zone. It's just they changed the name because of some licensing stuff when they switched networks. They were
Rod Serling has a lot more hair.
It's Rod Serling. They just slightly changed the way it opens, but that's
it's a little. I feel like it's a little more horror themed. I feel like there's less sci-fi in Night Gallery.
Yeah, but I mean, like the intention was to just continue doing the Twilight Zone, and they had to change the name and some of the setup.
This was actually my first Night Gallery episode.
Me too.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe you'll appreciate Night Ghoulery more now. The Tiny Toons.
I get it now.
Yeah, that's what the whole play was.
Or that Treehouse of Horror where they do the Night Gallery wraparound.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna. I've seen like most of the Twilight Zones. Twilight Zone.
Twilight's Zone.
But I feel like I'm gonna watch a lot of Night Gallery. Seems very October-ish.
It is. It's great, but I like this episode because it kind of reminds me of a Lovecraft story where it's the descendant of somebody moving into their old home, and there's the trunk. Said
in the attic.
Someone will come for the trunk. Don't move the trunk. Don't open the trunk.
Don't fucking look at that trunk.
Don't even look at the trunk.
But the trunk exerts mind control over everyone.
Kind of, it makes them behave like
Assholes.
Old world 17th century
Bitches.
witchcraft people.
That was actually my favorite part of the episode. Is when like the shit hits the fan, and I forget what he kept saying. Yee.
Yeah, it's when she runs out of cocoa.
Yeah,
she's like,
which is hilarious.
Yeah, I love that. Cocoa's a staple in this house.
Elise was cooking while this was happening, and she heard that and just started cracking up.
She's like, well, you can have warm milk. He's like, fuck warm milk, bitch. I want cocoa.
He's like, you have one job, and that is to keep me in cocoa.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to hit you.
And then he starts to talk. Well,
with a pan.
They foreshadow, like, in one of the. There's all these books on witchcraft, and one of them talks about having boiling hot white liquid put to the witch's lips. Semen.
And down her throat.
Yeah, that was not subtle.
Hot semen down her throat.
And he's about to scald her with hot milk because she ran out of cocoa. And then, you know what's great about this is the way this is diffused is someone knocks on the door, and it's trick-or-treaters.
Which I thought nobody came up to that house.
Yeah, they said everybody's
very
scared
far.
of it. But kids
didn't make any sense.
Kids
You're
don't know
right.
any better.
You're right, Kelley.
You know?
Continuity, bitch!
If you were a kid...
I'm just kidding.
And they said on Halloween night, and there was a house in your neighborhood that was supposed to be the
You'd
old
go
haunted
there.
house.
No, but they all heard they give full-size candy.
They were the only two that showed up. So
the best part is,
they're the ballsy
they're
ones.
like, they forgot it was Halloween. Well, first they freak out when they see monsters on their porch, little monsters, and then they're like, trick or treat. And then they start laughing, and they're like, oh, what a miss. I was just about to scald my wife.
But what was funny is they somehow have candy in the house.
He's
So
like,
if
give him a treat.
Yeah, and I'm like, she just
Was it
got
chocolate,
done
though?
They don't have
crying
cocoa, though.
They should have melted
about
down.
how they don't have any money and they have no food, and she's like, I can't buy you cocoa, bitch, get over it. But they got candy in the house, so if you
Cocoa
need a
was
sweet
super
treat,
expensive in the
She said
70s.
cocoa's a luxury, and he says cocoa is a staple in this house.
oh whatever.
I
It's
wanna
a fucking staple.
I want to live the life where cocoa is a staple in my house.
Isn't it?
You do.
I like
Yeah.
In the
cocoa.
winter,
Do you always have cocoa around?
We always have a jar of Hershey's cocoa.
Freddie, you-
In the winter, I try to keep
Yes.
it around. I like to make it like the old-fashioned
Well, I'm
way.
not even saying we use it to make hot cocoa drink. We just cook with it.
You mean you're talking about just cocoa powder?
Oh my
Yeah.
God, I'm gonna kill myself.
Yeah, that's what
I
I
don't
do
mean
too.
cocoa mix.
Yeah, cocoa
right.
mix.
Cocoa mix. Hey, it's me, a cocoa mix. Welcome to the island.
So,
You know, I prefer the powder to the liquid anyway.
what
So anyway, we were at.
The liquid mix.
You talking about chocolate syrup?
We're-
Yeah.
Well, that's quick. That's something
quick.
entirely
I'm
different.
talking about like just straight up cocoa powder.
cocoa powder.
Yeah, but
How
we used to
long
make
is this conversation?
And then you make it. You can whisk it
Cocoa
with,
powder.
with sugar and milk
Yeah.
over the stove and make the best cocoa.
and
Hot
cream.
cocoa.
You got to put a little.
Oh, do you put whole cream in
Cinnamon
yours?
in
Or
it.
condensed milk. Or
I've never done that.
Yeah, there's a great recipe for it. It's
Oh,
delicious.
wow.
My mom made it for me every day.
You just plussed our cocoa game.
Is that why you're diabetic?
No, well, maybe.
You said every day, right?
Yeah.
So
she
cocoa
get-
was a staple in that house.
Well, yeah, she also put Pepsi in a little honey bear for me to drink like a bottle.
She put Pepsi in cocoa?
No, no.
In a honey bear.
In a little honey bear. You know?
Oh, yeah, those things.
Yeah, and like she put the lid on. It was like a little sippy, and she would give it to me when I was like 4.
Oh, Wes. So here's
and I'm diabetic now.
Well,
Use Twizzlers as straws.
so here's what I want to talk about their hair, if we could, real quick.
Yeah.
He was clearly wearing a toupee,
Oh
right?
boy.
Okay. 'Cause
Was he?
like
I just
95
think he had a
years
lot
old.
of hair.
That was the 70s. I think it was just 70s.
Are you sure?
Uh,
So then here's my other question. Is she wearing a wig? Because her hair
No,
was
she's Nordic.
so bouncy. How do they get their hair like that?
They went to the Netherlands and they found her.
It was
just- her
Prel.
hair
Yeah.
was so full
Prel.
and bouncy
Amy,
Let's
she's
Prel.
she's
Let's
white
Prel.
and blonde.
and
They have
shiny.
good hair.
I don't.
This is why you could see her running naked
All right.
with that hair, those golden locks.
I'm like, either that is the best lace front I've ever seen in my life,
So-
or that's her real hair, and I can't get over it.
It's
Speaking
her
of
hair.
hair, the character Long Hair. That's how
Oh.
this guy's credited. The guy who comes to move the trunk for them.
About the tank top guy?
Yeah, he's wearing like the
Oh.
rainbow tank top, and he's
What
got,
is it, like a
bell
body in
bottoms?
here?
Yeah.
He's the most 70s person I've ever seen in my life.
He
You know
looks
that he's
like-
going out to a van. They're gonna they're gonna smoke some angel dust.
Didn't he remind you a little bit of Gallagher?
Yeah, a little
the
bit.
comedian, and also a porn star.
Yeah,
like
because he had that big round mustache.
Yeah.
He had like a Mario mustache.
He did.
Yeah,
and he had high pants.
it looked
tank
like
top.
it didn't look like hair. It looked like Mr. Potato Head's mustache. Like he just like pushed it in.
I love that this is the only guy who doesn't get a human name in the credits.
Long hair.
It's just like the disdain for hippies that this writer must have had. And they're like, call him long hair. They're like, we can't call him sissy. It's like, I don't know. Sissy might be too far. Let's call him long hair.
All right.
So it's Halloween night.
Yeah.
They're having this huge fight. Things are coming to a head.
Mm-hmm.
They see the kids and they're like, that's hilarious. And then somebody knocks on the door again, and they're like, it's probably, oh shit, it's cousin Zachariah.
Who's dead?
He's dead.
Yeah.
That was I liked his
He was spooky as hell.
spooky look.
It reminded me a lot of Creepshow.
Yeah, it's very Creepshow.
Where I can hold my breath.
Yeah, he looked like he crawled out of the ground or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, come for the trunk, y'all. And he goes up the stairs.
And he's not bad. You think like, oh shit, he's going to kill them. But he's just like, I need that trunk. I'm going to take it out of your life now.
It's like his curse or whatever. You know.
He was helping them out. But then he just leaves a note, like an IOU instead, where he's like, it's too heavy. I'll come back next Halloween.
Yep. I haven't been able to work out since I've been dead.
And they're like,
too busy taking care of Batman.
like a whole year. And then they're like, screw this. We're going to sell the place instead.
Yeah.
They just leave.
I feel like that's a real bitch move.
Well,
like you're giving him this trunk, but like you want them to move it for you too.
it was
What?
almost sort of comical.
What do you mean?
What are you talking about?
No, like it's just too heavy for him to move. Like I'm gonna leave it.
Oh, yeah. Well, he couldn't move it. He's an old man. He's dead, too.
Well, I don't understand why he left it. I think we're joking that he couldn't pick it up, but like, why did he not take it?
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
There's no explanation
I felt
for
like
why.
it was like bound to the house or something.
I think it's because the writer needed to have a reason for them to leave the house.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's a big plot hole in the thing. I just didn't understand.
They're like, we're
So-
getting towards the end of this. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, he's going to come back next Halloween. And I'm like, why do you think that?
I do love. There was another element in the middle of this story where she thinks he's come to bed at night.
Yeah.
But he's fell asleep upstairs.
Yeah.
That was real creepy.
That was cool.
And the typewriter typing out all that Cotton Mathery type shit in the middle of the night all by itself. And they're like, well, maybe kids broke in and just copied something out of the books.
And they're like, oh, kids. Oh, I feel
It
so much
must be
better.
kids.
Right, they broke in. Of course they did. We haven't seen any kids, and there's not really a way to get in here, but that's probably what happened. That's very likely.
I mean, everything is more reasonable than thinking like an ancient witch did it from beyond the grave.
At a certain point, you're like, I don't know. We've got this haunted trunk, all these witch books. At what point does it tip?
Yeah, good point.
I feel like if you just watch this like straight, and you're like, I'm just gonna watch this and expect things out of it, you're gonna be like, it's corny. But like, there are a lot of great, like, if you watch it for the good elements, like again, like I love them showing the cult books, like going across the bookshelf is a really great touch. And it reminds me of this story I read. I can't remember what it's called. It might have been called The Chair, where this couple, it's a writer and his wife, and they go to this antique store, and the guy that runs, it's just in his apartment, and he keeps saying like weird things, like he knows when he's gonna die, and he sells him this huge old carved wooden chair that he says was Dr. John Dee's chair, like Elizabeth I's wizard. And they get this chair back, and the writer becomes successful suddenly, but their like marriage collapses, and in the end, the chair comes to life and tries to kill them. But
see, I love like stories and movies and shows about cursed objects.
that's a great one. That story. If I can ever find it, I'll throw it at you.
I love that idea. Is it come to life like Cherry from Pee-wee's Playhouse?
No, and it's at the end. That's sort of the climax. Like they realize that that it's the chair that's like causing all this strife, and then at the very end, like it actually moves and comes after the guy, and it's like it's scary.
All right. So those were Freddy's picks. Well done, honey.
Thank you.
So now let's move.
John D. wrote the, according to H.P. Lovecraft, did the only English translation of the Necronomicon. I mean, that's not true, obviously,
Right.
but in the context of
Or is
Lovecraft,
it?
it's not.
So let's move on to our patron's pick, Mandi.
Yeah. From October 27, 1997.
She brought us a little taste of cozy Buffy.
Cozy.
I haven't seen this episode in a million bazillion years, but it's very like, I think iconic within the Buffyverse.
Ethan Rain.
Yeah, I've forgotten about him entirely.
I love Ethan Rayne. Although I conflated him with the guy who plays the guy in Rogue One that builds the Death Star. I thought it was the same actor, but it's not.
You talking about Mads Mikkelsen?
No,
Ben Mendelsohn.
the other one, the evil, the Empire guy.
Oh, I gotcha.
Like he actually builds, like he's like the man. He's the foreman of the build of the Death Star. I thought they were the same guy, but the guy that plays Ethan Rayne died
Does it?
Robin Sachs?
in 2013. Yeah.
Oh, because you know what was funny? Okay, so this episode's called Halloween, right?
Halloween season 2. Yeah.
I was going through Libby. It's just an app on your phone. If your library participates, it's fantastic. And I was looking for a new audiobook, and I landed on this one that sounded interesting, and I was scrolling down, and I saw that the narrator was Robin Sachs. And I was like, this feels like Kismet. I ended up not checking that one out. Just wanted to let you know.
Denied the Kismet?
What's different
I denied
between
it.
Libby and just getting audiobooks from the library?
How do you get audiobooks from the library?
Oh, is that what they use?
They
for
have
you to
more
down-
than one app. You can use
You have
Libby or
Hoopla,
Overdrive.
Libby, Overdrive.
Yeah.
I use Overdrive, but
Libby is Overdrive. They're the same company.
It's something. Some of the apps are better. Like Libby is good for like audiobooks, I think. And
I have
ebooks.
problems getting ebooks onto my Kindle via Libby, and I don't know why. So I use Overdrive for that.
after the show, I'd like to talk to you about Audible.
I don't want to pay for it. I
Sounds
like
bad.
using the library.
Well, I have a problem with it, and I need to understand.
Oh,
Is it in
I don't know that
Audible?
I can help you.
Okay.
I've never used Audible.
Anyway, what I love about
Okay.
this episode,
Yes.
because again, Giles is my favorite character,
Yes.
and this gives us a glimpse into Giles' past as a badass fucking wizard kid.
Yeah, and that he was maybe not always a good guy.
Yeah, he's hardcore.
He's like that girl's uncle doing occult stuff in the basement.
But he was young, and it just gives you like he doesn't follow authority. That's what I love about Giles. Like
That he had his rebellion.
yeah, and he has a rebellious spirit. Eventually, he leaves. He tells the Watchers Council to go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
He's kind of like a Severus Snape,
Yeah, but not
not
sniveling.
greasy.
Yeah.
So, we're second season, so they're in the high school, and it's Halloween time.
Real quick, what was the big bad for season 2? Was that the Master? Was that the
Mm-mm.
season
I
1?
thought it was Spike and
Spike?
Drusilla, right?
Was that it? Okay.
Mhm.
It's been so long since I've
And
seen it.
don't they bring not the judge? What
No,
is
that
it?
was 4. The judge was 4.
Judge was
Adam was 4.
That was 4.
Oh no, you're right. Adam.
The mayor was-
I'm sorry, I
yeah.
get the judge and Adam mixed
The
up.
mayor was 3.
Mayor was 3.
But he started in 2. We get the mayor.
Yeah.
The mayor starts in 2.
Yeah. So you have the Master in season 1. Season 2 is Spike, I guess, because they bring him and Drusilla. And then 3 is the mayor. 4 is
Yeah.
Adam. 5 is Glory.
In
6
season 2, that's the big with Angelus and the soul.
That happens at the very end.
Yeah, it's okay. That's
Yeah.
the kind of like the overarching storyline, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's Halloween time, and Buffy's feeling a little. She's got some self-esteem issues
She's
related to Angel.
Yeah, she's
She
like
doesn't feel so fresh and pretty.
she wants to know what kind of a woman
Yeah.
Angel would be into. She's like, I'm just a teenage girl.
Mm-hmm.
He's a worldly fellow. He's a little older.
I think she figured out what kind of girl he's into
Mm-hmm.
in that sentence.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a teenage girl. He's an old man 10 times over. It plays creepier and creepier every time you revisit the show.
So
You gotta stop revisiting it
Yeah.
in that way.
I don't give. Vampires are exempt from that.
Yeah. it doesn't-
Yeah,
And
apparently.
she's the Slayer.
I mean, what are
she's
they supposed to do?
different.
Date other 500-year-old characters?
She's an old soul, is what you're saying?
It's not like she's a child.
She's a high school cheerleader.
So she sees that she steals some of the Watcher Diary thingy
Yeah.
journals with Willow, and she figures out that Angel likes women wearing corsets.
Well, she thinks.
She thinks. They go buy their Halloween costume. Buffy gets her corset dress, and she's trying to convince Willow to slut it up a little. And Xander wants to be a soldier. And Oz is sort of in the background because they're easing him in. to
They're
the
easing him
storyline.
in with some KY.
Speaking of Oz, this episode's directed by Bruce
Bruce
Seth
Seth Green.
Green. Is that his? Are they related?
I
Or is that
don't-
a weird coincidence?
I think
don't
it's a
know.
weird coincidence.
That's so weird.
I think it'd be weird to be related to someone with the exact same name as you.
Yeah, I mean, like, you even go to like Bruce Seth Green's IMDb page, and it's not like he has nothing on there except for his credits.
Hold the phone.
Maybe.
Did you really think they were related?
Pretty stupid.
His name is
in a
Bruce
beautiful way.
Seth Green.
The only thing,
and he's directing an actor named
beautiful
Seth
way.
Green.
I didn't
got a
think they were
beautiful
related,
mind.
but I thought maybe they were the same person. I thought it was possible that Seth Green.
I found it. Seth is not related to Bruce Seth Green.
Thank you.
Who
Okay.
directed some episodes of Buffy. On occasion, some sources confuse the two and have credited Seth as the director.
But they fist bumped every time they ran into each other. Like, Seth Green, Seth Green! They had Seth Green powers. They would go out and fight crime after they
No, the guy
directed an
probably goes
episode
fight
of
Bruce.
Buffy.
the Seth Green Lantern core.
Seth Green Lantern.
Oh, they just fist bumped you guys.
Yeah, he fist bump.
We don't have powers, though.
Just like the Seth Greens.
You do have powers to make us chuckle.
we have powers of joy.
So, it's Halloween, and Buffy and Co have gotten conscripted into taking kids out to trick or treat as
Because
part
apparently
of a
the
volunteer.
principal can make you do that.
Yeah, he forced her. And
Yeah.
she's like, I have carpal tunnel syndrome. So how great was Armin Shimerman as Principal Snyder? That
Yeah.
guy is so weird
He's
looking.
odious.
Yeah. Wasn't he Quark on Deep Space Nine?
He looks like he should be if he wasn't.
I think he was.
he looks exactly the same on Buffy without the makeup.
Yeah, he was Quark.
Yeah.
He's fantastic. Leave him alone. And
He is fantastic, but it's
he-
because he's weird looking.
It's
So
because
they-
he's a Ferengi.
So they're out taking their
real.
kids around for trick or treating. Meanwhile, Ethan Rayne is conducting an occult ritual to turn everybody into their costumes.
Mhm.
And that happens. So then Buffy is just some dumb noble woman,
Some dumb bimbo
bimbo,
from the 18th century.
and Xander's a soldier.
Yeah.
And Willow, who dressed like a ghost, fucking dies and becomes a ghost, which is kind of like a scary moment. I felt bad for her. That had to be terrible.
I know it's nitpicking, but she don't have white sheet at home.
What'd you say?
She don't have a white sheet at home. She had to go buy a ghost costume.
Did she
Well-
buy that?
Yeah, because all the people that bought the costume from that store.
Oh, that's right. It had to be.
became-
Well,
yeah.
It
Yeah.
comes pre-holes cut out.
When you really think about it,
I don't have a white sheet.
I didn't piece that together, Andy. I was like, oh yeah, you're right.
this kind of works out for. I mean, if ultimately, if they hadn't fixed, I mean, Xander just became effective.
Xander had an emasculating moment earlier in the
Yeah.
in the episode with Larry, and this gives him his manhood back.
But also, like, I mean, he really wouldn't fuck with him at all.
Right.
He'd just be good at things.
But you know what I liked about Xander as a soldier? He's very willing to take orders from a woman,
yeah.
which means in deep in his heart somewhere, Xander is about equality and feminism.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
I never thought he wasn't.
So they're trying. So then Drusilla realizes she has a vision that the Slayer is going to be weak on Halloween. So then Spike goes out looking for her,
Spoy.
and so he's trying to kill her. And meanwhile, Giles and Willow are trying to figure out how to end the spell, and then everything works out.
Mm-hmm.
How ironic is that we were talking about Donnie earlier, and Juliet Landau's come up at the beginning and into the show.
Get out,
It's more
man.
kismet.
She, Buffy realizes that Angel's not into noble women.
He goes so far as to say, "I hated the girls back then.
Yeah.
I hated women back then."
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
He's like, I killed a lot of them when I was a vampire. Just killed them.
Yeah.
Well, he did because he was Angelus.
So what about Larry? This is before Larry was gay.
Yeah.
Yet they dressed
He
him up as a pirate.
It was his toxic masculinity at work.
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought the whole thing. If they knew all along and they were being clever about it.
I think they might have.
Yeah.
I forgot how fun Cordelia was
Mm-hmm.
when she was a bitch.
Oh, yeah.
See, I like this episode a lot better than the one we covered earlier.
Oh,
Fear-
yeah. This is
fear.
a.
Yeah,
itself.
because I feel like the dialogue and it got, as the series got on, it got a little too smart for its own good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I will say that Sarah Michelle
I think it
Gellar's
was always the
acting
same.
in
Yeah,
this
but
is a little rough.
I feel like this was toned down a little bit. It didn't get as self-aware and smart as it in later seasons.
Did Sarah Michelle Gellar come off a little LARPy to you in this?
Well, that's one of the things I said last time. Like, her acting comes and goes.
Yeah.
Like, her chops come and go. Like, sometimes she nails it in the same episode, and then other times you're like,
Girl,
Yeah.
are you reading this off a cue card right now? Are you on Saturday Night Live?
girl.
I think anytime she has to, like, she was great at playing Buffy.
Yeah.
Whenever things were super Buffy-esque, she was good. But when she had to play against type,
Except
like
once,
in this case,
when her and Faith switched bodies,
yeah,
she was awesome. Her and
Yeah,
Liza Dushku
I
were
do
both
agree.
really good
Mhm.
at playing the other one. But I agree with you on what you're saying, other than that.
yeah.
So there you go, y'all. Thank you, Mandi, for that pick.
Yeah, good call.
Agreed.
It was nice to see them kind of. More of my memories just from the later seasons when everything was just so dark all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice for a lighter kind of moment
Yeah,
back when
and-
things were fun and Joyce was alive.
Bubbly.
And I love their Monster of the Week episodes. I feel like this is
Yeah.
one of them too.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, anything else before we wrap this shit up?
Well, patrons,
Patrons.
we want to thank you
You're the best.
Mhm.
for giving us money
It's very sweet.
to do this.
Makes it. The money really makes it all worthwhile.
Well, we use it for good. We're not out buying Rolexes and Bugattis.
No, it's all going back into the show.
But
But we're getting better shirts.
Yeah, you're getting better shirts.
You're getting better shirts.
I mean, I'm
They're
also
ordered.
getting one, but
They're soft
Fright
and
Night.
stretchy, and pens.
so you can gain a little
Everything is
weight.
nicer than it
Yeah.
was last year.
Yeah.
Because of you.
So that's coming down the pike very soon.
of you.
And then we're gonna have some extra content here for patrons, so look forward to that. And then next week is feedback. So if you have anything to say, remember crew@notlp.com. What's our phone number again?
513-666.
it's the devil's number.
I want to say 0916. I want to say.
But what if that's not right?
I want to
It's
say
the
it's
devil's
513. 666. I want to say 0916.
Okay. Well, go to notlp.com. It's there.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No. Why don't we thank our patrons?
We just did.
No, I mean our Beelzebubs, our producers.
Our Beelzebubs. Well, you got to say it like that.
Our Beelzebubs. The Bubs.
Hey, bub.
Yeah, I was right. 0916 666 0916 and the 513 area code 513-666-0916.
All right. So let's talk to our Beelzebubs and tell them how fantastic they are.
Let's get out our Ouija board so we can do that. So we can commune with our Beelzebubs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We're going to start with, of course, our little babies, Jeremy and Cassie.
Oh, I had fun hanging out with you a couple weeks ago. That was fun. Played some good games.
Did you play some good games?
Played some good games.
I'm jelly.
We've got Deadeye.
Deadeye, I hope that you get the sexy Catwoman costume this Halloween.
Amanda.
Amanda, I hope you're a sexy SpongeBob SquarePants.
Dale.
And if you can't afford that, Circle Sponge.
Okay, Dale.
Dale, I hope you're a sexy skeleton.
Ooh.
Is Dale
Nice and
sponge-worthy?
thin.
He's sponge-worthy.
Mandy, again, thank you so much for your pick. It was a lot of fun. Hope you
Yeah.
enjoyed that.
You should dress up like Elastigirl. I've decided
Okay.
for everyone I'm picking your Halloween costume this year.
Adam.
Adam, I really think you should be Harley Quinn and play against type.
Brooke.
Brooke, you should be Curious George.
Sexy Curious.
Sexy Curious George. It's just a diaper.
Are diapers sexy?
Well, that's what Curious George wears.
For some people.
Does he wear?
Curious
Wait,
George.
does he wear a diaper?
I have no idea.
I think he
I don't-
does.
He
I don't-
doesn't.
no.
He's just naked.
Well, that's the sexiest costume of all.
Yeah.
You're a naked monkey.
Ernest.
Ernie, you should be the man in the yellow hat and you guys can go together. That'd be fun.
Okay, sexy man in the hat. Albert.
Albert, I'm going to say Pennywise on top, Ballerina on bottom.
Okay. Tree and Alex.
Tree and Alex, let's bring back the Teletubbies. One of you be Tinky Winky and the other one be Boo.
Okay. Brandon Moon.
Brandon, I'm sensing a Kardashian this year. You pick which one.
I feel like you'd make a great Kendall.
Yeah, you think so?
No. Bill.
Bill Yoshi, 100%
Ooh.
Yoshi.
But with a huge cock.
We saw that guy
Big
at
cocked Yoshi.
Disneyland at the Halloween party dressed as Mario on Yoshi. It was adorable.
Yeah.
Blake.
Blake, I think you should be a Native American.
No.
And then you should take a lot of pictures of it and put it on your social media. Get the full headdress. Go all out. Appropriate the shit out of it.
Well, he could take the 23andMe test and see.
It's true.
I mean, unless you are Native American, then you have at it.
Mark, I think you should be a gumball machine with working coin slot. Where when people come up and they put quarters into you, you spit out gumballs. Somehow get on cheeks. It. Yeah.
And of course, our little baby Elise.
Elise, you and Kelley should get together and be Two-Face from Batman. Mm-hmm. Where you guys actually somehow merge your heads together into one head.
We do it all the time. We have a cat named Two-Face, by the way.
Oh,
yeah, no.
All right, great. Those were our our Beelzebubs, and we love them. And anything else before we move on?
Have a good week, listeners.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know what costume I'm going to wear from Freddy.
Oh, Andy.
And you got to do Amy too, and Mike.
I'm going to say you should be a box of Raisinets. Amy should be a sugar baby with a stick out the bottom. And Mike can be a bunch of snow caps.
So we're a candy themed.
You guys
are movie treats.
What are you gonna be?
Well, then what does that make you? Are you going to the movies?
I'm going to be a bucket of popcorn.
Oh, you're so salty.
Yeah, with extra butter. I'm going to be
Seriously,
real gross.
The way he eats movie theater popcorn, he could be a bucket of popcorn when he leaves.
I love movie theater popcorn.
There's so much fucking popcorn left on his shirt, in his mouth.
Like, I get a large popcorn, I eat a small popcorn. You know what I mean?
Well, I definitely. What is it about popcorn? Like, it just tumbles out of your hand when you take it to your mouth, and then it's just like.
Do you think it's because you and I both take fistfuls of it?
Possibly.
And then we shovel it down from the bottom of your palm to the tips of your fingers.
That's definitely how I do it.
Yeah.
You come out with your like chins and mouths glistening with butter.
Yeah, it looks like we were just.
It looks like I just went down on the sun.
The sun?
Yeah, it's like that golden sun pussy juice all over my
Goodness,
face.
I have a cold.
You would have severe burns.
Well, no, the sun turns that off.
You mean somebody's son? Who has a vagina?
Yeah.
A greasy vagina.
Sunny from that song. Sunny.
Oh, how big is the son's pussy to eat it out?
Normal size.
All right, we're done.
Normal
Thank you
for a
so
son.
Human size or sun size?
It's human size.
Bye.
Frankenstein was wondering if he should go to bed.